Next example is example 2.7. We measure the period of oscillation of a simple pendulum in successive measurements. The readings turn out to be 2.63 second, 2.56 second, 2.42 second, 2.71 second and 2.80 second. So here we see that there is a lot of difference between measurements. Calculate the absolute errors, relative error or percentage error. So we have to calculate absolute error, relative error and percentage error. So let us solve this numerical example. So first of all, we have to calculate the mean period. So what we will do, we will add all the time periods together and divide by number of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, divide by 5. So what we get, 13.2 upon 5 seconds. So this is the average time period or average value of time period. So this is 2.624. So we have written it as 2.62. Why? Why we have written it as 2.62? Because even in mean we are getting 2.624, but as the periods are measured to only for a resolution of 0.01 second. So our clock was only accurate up to 0.01 second. So this digit is already uncertain by our clock. So we have to leave this digit. So nearest number is 2.62. Nearest number is 2.62. Suppose if it was 6, then we will round it to 2.63. So that's why we have given up this digit, because our clock itself is or watch itself is precise only up to 0.01 second. Now we have to calculate the errors in the measurement. So error in the measurement, in first 1 second, in second one 6 second. So here you see this one is plus, this one is minus, this one is again minus, then plus plus. So 6 second, 20 second, 9 second and 18 second. So these are errors of each and every measurement with this average value. So first we are calculate the absolute error. But again that the errors have the same units, because as the quantity the error must have the same unit. Now arithmetic mean of absolute error. So again for arithmetic mean we take only the magnitude, that means only the positive value. So this is 1 second, though it is minus we take positive 6 second, 20 second, 9 second and 18 second. When we add them and divide by 5, what we get? 55 upon 5. So 55 upon 5 is 10.8 second. But here we have taken the difference in terms of 1 second only, 0.01 second. So this number, sorry, this is not 10.8, this is 0.108, 0.54 second upon 5. So this is 0.108 second. But again this digit is not accurate, as our clock is not able to measure the third digit after decimal. So we will round it to 0.11 second. So our average error is 0.11 second. So now let us write it. How do we write? So time period is T is equal to 2.62 plus minus 0.11 second. So this is the way to write this thing. Thus the time period of oscillation of simple pendulum is 2.62 plus minus 0.11 second. It lies between 2.62 plus 0.11 or 2.62 minus 0.11. So again from 2.51 second to 2.73 second. So this is the range in which time period will lie. So it is the experiment where we don't have standard value, because every pendulum is different. So we are experimenting only with our own pendulum. So this is between 2.73 second and 2.51 second. As the arithmetic mean of absolute error is 0.11 second. So this is mean 0.11 second. There is already an error of tenth of a second. So what we see, So we are getting this digit non-zero this digit. That means error is more than 1/10 of a second. So hence there is no point giving the period up to 100 seconds. Since this digit also has an error of 1, so why we are giving this number? So that is the point. Suppose we get some error on this second digit itself, then why we are giving this third digit? Or we say that if we are getting error just after one digit after decimal, why we are giving second digit after the decimal? So that's why we write this as t is equal to 2.6 plus minus 0.1 second. So this is the accurate way or a good way to write any measurement with proper error notation. So why did we leave this 0.11? Because this number itself is not correct. So why we are saying that this is also in error? So when we are not sure about 1/10th part of second, so how can we predict that we have some error of 100th part of a second? That's why we have removed that number. The last numeral 6 is unreliable. This last numeral is unreliable by 0.1 second, since it may be anything between 5 and 7. Suppose if we get plus 1, then we get 2.7, and if we get minus, then we will get 2.5 second. So this last digit varies between 5 and 7. So we indicate this by saying the measurement has two significant figures. So how do we say? We say the measurement has two significant figures. In this case, two significants are 2 which is reliable and 6. So what is significant figure? So here they are introducing a new concept. They are introducing a new concept of significant figures. So we have two significant figures up to which we are showing any value. They are called significant figures. So here we have two significant figures. This 2 is definitely reliable, but this 6 is not reliable. It is unreliable, but it is significant. That means we are giving value or we are measuring value up to this digit. So in this case, two significant figures are, one is 2, that is reliable, and another one is 6, which has an error associated with it. You will learn more about significant figures in section 2.7 that we will discuss later. Now let us calculate the absolute. So absolute error is 2.6 plus minus 0.1 second. Now we have to calculate the relative error. So relative error is 0.1 upon 2.6. If we don't multiply with this 100, then it is only relative error. So just multiplying it with 100 is making it percentage error. So 0.1 upon 2.6 into 100, what we get? 4%. So there is 4% error in our measurement of time period. Here we have calculated the error to be 4%. If you calculate this number, with your calculator, you will get value less than 4. But still we have put 4% because of the significant digits. About significant digits we will learn later, but just because of significant digits we have put here 4. Otherwise it is not exactly 4, it is less than 4. It is 3.84%. But if we see this number, so this 3, 8 and 4, there are 3 significant digits. But if we see this error, there is only one significant digit. This one is only significant digit. So we will learn what are significant digits, but since there is only one significant digit, so we always report our result in that figure which have the least number of significant digits. So least number, this has 3 significant digits, this has 2 significant digits, this has only 1 significant digit. So we will report our number with 1 significant digit, that means 4%. We will not write it as 3.84. So that is just because of the significant digit, or we sometimes we say significant figures. Next topic is combination of errors. Suppose instead of one error we have different measurements. If we do an experiment involving several measurements, that means there is not single measurements but multiple measurements, we must know how errors in all measurements combine. So there is an example. So we have mass density. Mass density is obtained by dividing mass by the volume. So how do we get mass density? So we get rho by dividing mass m by volume of the substance. If we have errors in the measurement of mass, so we have error in the measurement of mass m plus delta m plus minus delta m, and the size of the dimension. So if the dimensions are wrong, definitely we will have some error in volume as well. We must know that error will be in density because of both of these, density of the substance. To make such estimate, we should learn how error combine in various mathematical operations. So since division is the operation here, so we have error in mass, we have error in the dimension measurement, that means there must be some error in the volume calculation. So we are dividing these two quantities which already have errors. So how can we calculate the combined error? That we will learn in this section, that how to combine different types of errors.